Welcome back. Today I have a small anime haul from rightstufanime.com. Like always, I like to show how they pack things because it's just good to know how stores pack your stuff, is all I'm saying. I've never had an issue with their boxes. They're always nice and sturdy. And they like to wrap everything in paper, or especially if you have a lot of DVDs in your package, they like to have little inserts so that nothing is jiggling around in the box. They did include 2 invoices instead of 1 in this package because this is technically part of 2 orders. Like I've mentioned in the past, they ship stuff out as they get it and they try to consolidate everything that you buy into one package. So if you buy 5 items at once but 1 is out of stock, they'll probably wait until it's in stock. So in this package, I have some manga and anime. The first thing that I see here is Volume 1 of the Case Study of Vanitas. This is by the author who created Pandora Hearts, which I read a lot of when I was in middle school, and I saw the anime, which was beautiful. Really good music too by one of my favorite anime composers. So when I heard she created another series, I immediately jumped on it. It's very thick actually, so I'm hoping this has a good story. I unfortunately never finished the Pandora Hearts manga, and I'm really tempted by that set that Rightstuf has on their website. It's just too long though. That's too much shelf space that I can't spare, but I really do like their art. Their stories are always really whimsical, a little violent if you're looking for something a little cuter, but always good. What am I saying? I've only really read Pandora Hearts from them, but I'm really excited to read this. I like how the cover is matte too. It has that matte, scratchy texture, which you don't see a lot with manga, so that's really nice. Who published this? So this is published by Yen Press. Rumors revolving around the Book of Vanitas, a clockwork grimoire of dubious reputation, draw Noe to Paris. What awaits him in the City of Flowers, however, is not long hours treading the pavement or rifling through dusty bookshops in search of the tomb. Instead, his quarry comes to him in the arms of a man claiming to be a vampire doctor. Thrust into a conflict that threatens the peace between humans and vampires, Noe, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, cast in his lot with the curious and slightly unbalanced Vanitas and his quest to save vampire kind. Oh, interesting. I didn't know this was about vampires, so now I am doubly intrigued. So I'm excited to read this. That angle was not working for me. Next is Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, Volume 3. I have 1 and 2. 4 is on pre-order, so I have 3. This is also published by Yen Press, except it's in the glossy finish. I love these covers. The color scheme, I love it. The line work is really nice too. And I believe sorry about the dogs, but I believe this volume has been covered by the anime. So I'm just really trying to read what I can to catch up to the anime and then keep going. And I've also heard certain things were not included in the anime, so I'm curious to see what was and what wasn't. I will say though, Volume 1 of Hanako-kun came with this exact problem, so I don't know if Yen Press just needs to tell their manufacturer that maybe they should do some more quality checks, but I keep getting spines where the top or bottom have some rips on there, and for a new volume that's kind of a downside. It could also be Rightstuf's warehouse where they store all this stuff. They're just not being that careful. That's just something to note. Next I have the movie collection of Tsubasa and Triplexholic. I mainly only bought this for Triplexholic. I've only seen a couple episodes of Tsubasa. If you're not familiar, Tsubasa is one of those special anime that actually does a crossover with Triplexholic. But yes, I mainly bought this for the Triplexholic movie. I don't even think this is a legitimate movie size. I think the actual movie is only about an hour long, but I felt like to have my Triplexholic collection complete, in English at least, I figured I might as well get it. Sorry if you can see the fly flying around in here. It's that time of year. This was only like $7. I got it on sale, so I'm pretty happy. And the discs are really nice. Yuko drags her pawns along, invited to a mysterious auction at an intriguing mansion. They're confronted by greed, vanity, and pride. They will navigate through rooms and passages that twist like the souls of holics, the mongers of material satisfaction. As the other guests disappear one by one, the puzzle must be pierced together before they become part of the collection too. That sounds interesting. Next is Machia, When the Promised Flower Blooms. Oh my goodness. So I watched this illegally on a streaming website just to see if I would like it because I was always curious about buying it. And oh my goodness, it is definitely one of those stories that if you can get attached to these characters, you are going to be sobbing from happiness. Maybe sadness. For me, it was happiness at the end. It was just such a heartwarming story. I knew I was probably going to tear up, but this hit me pretty hard at the end. The basic story of which is that this girl, Machia, is part of a society that's essentially immortal. One day they're invaded and a lot of drama happens, but it comes to a point where she ends up adopting a human child that she finds and raising him to adulthood. But because there's a war raging on, her people are essentially still on the run from that attack, and as her son grows up, he starts to notice how she doesn't age. Just a lot of drama ends up really building up over the years, and it follows her through these years. Oh no! Why would y'all put her back there? Oh no. No! That just makes me sad. But I think it's a very beautiful movie, and this is a DVD Blu-ray combo, which I think are rare to find nowadays, so I made sure to pick this up. This one I'm really excited for. This is Tokyo Godfathers. I've been waiting for this movie to get licensed for release in the West, and dubbed, especially dubbed, because I think it's been released before, but it's never been dubbed, and now it has. I watched this a long time ago, checked it out from my local library, and I loved it. This is one of, is this a Satoshi Kon movie? I can't remember. It is. You can kind of tell by his style, but this one's a little bit different than his usual stuff, so it's always hard to tell for me. Certified Rotten Tomatoes Fresh. Interesting. I wish that wasn't on there. I really hate it when they put stickers directly on the cases, but whatever. So the basic plot of this particular movie is this baby gets abandoned. I can't remember if it was a trash can or where, but these three characters are homeless and they adopt her, or they at least try to find their mom to give the baby back. It's very much a character-driven kind of drama story set during Christmas. For example, this is a transgender woman. This guy, I think he was kicked out from his family for being an alcoholic. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've seen this, so I could be getting this completely wrong. And then this girl is a teenage runaway. So as they're trying to find the mom of this baby, they pretty much face all of their issues and more or less resolve them by the end. So this is a DVD and Blu-ray combo as well, and oh, that's touching. I always loved that scene in the train. The train has a lot of significance in this movie, from what I remember. What's really interesting to me about this particular release, though, is that it's by G-Kids, which is a new licensor that's been licensing a lot of anime, especially the old ones recently, in addition to other Asian animation. For example, they have licensed some Chinese animated movies, one of which I have seen called White Snake. It was okay, but I've been seeing a lot of movies being licensed by them. On one hand, this is great because they're getting a lot of the demanded movies, such as Tokyo Godfathers. I know they now have the license to distribute the Ghibli movies. Disney does not anymore. And they're actually going through the trouble of dubbing all this stuff, which is great. It's always exciting when new companies come into the fray, and hopefully we'll get a lot of old school movies at a decent price and other anime released by these new companies in good quality. This really seems fine. I don't see anything bad about it. And finally, the last two things in this package are seasons 1 and 2 of Assassination Classroom. This is all that there is to the series. It completed fairly well, in my opinion, and had really good closure. I loved this series. It was so entertaining. It's kind of like My Hero Academia in a sense, in which it focuses on the whole class and every character more or less has sufficient screen time to where you get to know them. I think My Hero does a little bit better because everyone just looks so different, but I definitely got attached to more than one of the main characters in this series, all thanks to those little extra bits from the class. I really hate it, though, that Funimation is not willing to make a complete series box set, and I just really wanted this series, so I gave up on waiting, so I'll just live with having them as separate entities on my shelf. I'll open season 1, but I'm going to keep season 2 wrapped until I watch it. This is dubbed, and again, it's Funimation. They tend to include digital copies with their releases nowadays. I never use them, but they're nice to have. Can't open this. This is also their Classics release, which is their new version of the Sabers. So a few years back, whenever the license was ending, companies would try and re-release a series that they already had released with a cheaper price tag in hopes of getting the most for their money. So they released this kind of save edition with this green bar in it. Case Close was released like this as well. I think the Classics and also the anime classics or legends that I've been seeing around are similar. They just rebranded it, but that's essentially what it is. They're trying to get the most out of their releases and the anime that they've licensed. Oops, snap. That's not good. I always hate it when that happens, but the disc looks fine. Yeah, these cases are really flimsy. They do not do a very good job of keeping the discs in there. Sorry, all the discs are falling out of this. I think this was in their storage for a long time. And then the inside has all the info. Actually, I'm probably going to flip it so that you don't see this Classics on there, because I think that looks a lot better than having the purple stripe at the top. I really want to know what this residue is, because most of the Blu-ray cases that I've gotten recently have had that, and I'm like, what is that? Is that like condensation, or where are y'all keeping these? Even though this is technically the cheaper re-release, this was $30 each, which makes sense. Every season is 24 episodes or so, so you do get a good bang for your buck. I'm still kind of sour, though, that I had to buy two. If you've never heard of this series, it's really fun. The basic premise of which is that this alien, this face, that you see on the cover is actually this tentacle monster looking thing that becomes a teacher to a class of delinquents as part of a deal that he made to the government, where he promises not to destroy the world if he can teach these students to kill him. So that's why it's called Assassination Classroom. The whole point of them being in class, other than to actually pass regular school, which he does teach them, but also to learn and train to kill him and find all his weaknesses and stuff like that. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but I thought it was a really enjoyable ride, and it got really touching at certain times, and it's pretty funny. All the characters are fun. So I would definitely recommend the series. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Like always, I will leave links to these products in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video.